So hey everyone, welcome back to this. You'll notice I have started some green lights because this is now the third time that I'm trying to record this without messing things up by zooming in and having it cut out the frame so you can't even see what I'm doing and all of that. So yeah, I'm kind of feeling a bit frustrated by the fact that even though I'm not as tired today like yesterday when I screwed things up completely, I am still screwing things up. So yeah, please bear with me. I am hoping screw-ups will stop, and I've just decided the ways, because I keep going over the lines and everything because the details are so tiny and it's driving me insane. I am actually going to, before I even bring you back in with continuing with the green colour, and I won't be zooming in any closer again this time, because every time I try that any closer it just cuts out because the details are so fine, and I move it, I think it's in the right spot, and then I might move it slightly and it's out of the frame and you don't even see what I'm doing or anything. So I'm pretty much just going to leave it zoomed in where it is, which is nearly as close as I can get, and I don't want to move it again because otherwise I'm probably most likely going to cut things out again. So please bear with me. It's been kind of frustrating trying to get this video recorded because the details are so small and tiny and it's hard. So what we're going to come in with is a black Uniball Signo gel pen, 0.7mm, and I'm just going to use this to fix up all the areas where it had little details between where the pencil would just keep going over. And I'm basically, except for then I went over the stem. Darn it. I'm screwing it all up. It seems like this piece is nothing but mistakes, and I'm tempted to ditch it. So all I seem to be doing is mistakes. Because now we got black gel pen all over the stem bits where the stems were, so I'm sorry, I'm just finding it kind of frustrating because anytime I'd start this while I was feeling tired, I'd screw it up, and now even though I'm not tired, I'm still screwing it up because of the teeny tiny details. So I like teeny tiny details, but it's kind of seems to be a disaster, but I figure I should continue this since I've started it on the channel. But I've had to cut out a lot because of mistakes and screw-ups and stuff, so yeah, sorry about that. So even though there's black leaves in the background, I'm just going to bring the black gel pen up and just enclose those parts in, just because I want to make sure that the background is complete black and I'm going to be able to see the details easier. But yes, just excuse my frustration, it's just things seem to be liking to go wrong with this piece. And I'm going over the lines everywhere with it. But then I guess too, I can't be so hard on myself because the details are so fine that probably anyone would go over the lines attempting this image. When I got this book, I wasn't thinking it would be so small, like it's almost A5 size. And when I got it, I thought it would be more like her first book, Floribunda, I think it was. But it was a lot smaller. But yeah. So just bear with me whilst we do this black background, and then we'll bring in some of the colours and stuff. Well, I guess this shows you that I'm just human, that I have mistakes. I rarely make mistakes when I do the colouring stuff, but I seem to be doing that with this one a lot. I seem to be making a lot of mistakes, and it annoys me. Even with the fine gel point pen, it isn't fine enough to go between where some of these details lie, because of the fact that, well, yeah, as I said, they're just way too fine. But as you'll notice here, in this spot, it's probably very hard to see, but I've actually gone over where some of the gaps were for those details with the black gel pen, because of the fact that the area is so fine that you're putting the details in. Just like there, I went over a leaf without even trying to on part of the stem. So yeah, it's going to be a very hard piece to work on. Like, I like fine details and stuff, but I don't like when all I do is screw up with those details. I don't. Just like there, I've gone over the leaf bit again. Sorry. I've got to just relax and enjoy it. Just do the best we can, I guess, rather than getting annoyed because things aren't going how I want. Although I'm sure you all understand that. I guess we just need to try and relax and just do the best we can, because, as I said, with extremely fine with details this small, it's going to be very hard not to go over things. And I thought it would be fairly easy when I started it, but it's not going to. And we'll bring in our other greens and stuff once we've got this black done, so we can see the details more. So I'll recommend, like, I haven't told you the colours yet, but I will tell you what colour I started with the green after this is done. But I'm thinking probably filling in with the black is probably the best way to start doing it, because as you'll notice, even I'm having trouble, and it's not that I don't know how to do it or anything, it's just, yeah, the really fine details are making it very hard to complete, shall we say, because they're so fine that it's so easy to just go over the lines with it. And hence that makes it very easy to just screw things up completely with it, like I have done with some things. So I would probably recommend doing the black background first. I would. So I'm just going to pause for a minute and I'll be back shortly to continue this. But as you'll notice, we've started doing our black in there. It's just extremely detailed, and yeah. So we've just got to work that out and work through it, I guess, and we'll get there. And then we'll be able to try and work in our details and try not to mess things up too much. So work in our colours and stuff like that. So I will see you back very shortly. So hey everyone, I'm back. Sorry, I just needed to take a break and breather and just relax a bit because I'm feeling a bit sort of tense doing this one because of all the really fine details, and yeah, I know it's just meant to be fun and for colouring's sake, so I just took a bit of a break and patted my dog and did some of that, and then came back. It was only like 5 minutes, but yeah. And we're just continuing with a black Uniball Signo gel pen, and we're even filling in all these black leaf areas because we don't really want them in our image. Now we've decided to fill in with the black details to try and block out the mistakes or the screw ups, shall we say, with some of the little details. This way it'll make it a little easier when filling out details. With the, how do we say it, with the future images, I guess you could say. And it'll hide some of the spots where you go over the lines a bit too. No, that's the funny thing though. I really enjoy having fine detailed images, but I've never done one that's this fine before, where the image is so small and tiny that it's very hard to do. So I guess it's a new learning experience and learning how to do it. So I guess I should be looking at it that way rather than getting uptight and frustrated and annoyed about it. I should just, as I keep telling everyone, take my time and just use it as a learning experience and just enjoy the process, because it's a chance for me to learn how to do something, I guess, well, I don't know if it's something new as such, but learn just how to work with the really, really fine details. Because this is my first time working with such a fine image. Like, I have done intricate small details before, but never this size. So I'll just show you if I can some of, whoops, there's hair all over it and stuff. So this is sort of the size of some of the other images. So compare that to the amount of detail in this tiny square box. If that was over the full page, it wouldn't be so bad, I guess you could say. It wouldn't be so tiny. But I guess I should be using this as a learning experience rather than getting upset at myself for not managing it as well as I could, because I guess it shows you guys also that I do make mistakes and that mistakes can be made and we can do our best to fix them. So, but it also shows me just that rather than giving up, that it is something that I can do and that I can achieve, if that makes sense. Because there have been multiple times where I've been doing this where I've felt like just giving up, but I haven't yet. And yeah, as said, I should be enjoying it, not stressing over it, because I really do love doing this. And I'm sure we all have our days where we feel like things just aren't working and things just keep going wrong with our colouring. As said, sorry, I'm just really focusing on this because there's a lot of really fine details and I just went over a spot again where I wasn't supposed to. Bugger. That's because the gel pen isn't really built, I guess, for going over such fine detail areas. So I think just what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut out those details in those spots. So yes, I know it's making the image more blank, but I just feel this is a better way of doing it so that you can get a what is it, like a better image in the end kind of thing, so you can actually get it looking decent, because I feel if I leave every detail in there it's just going to look like a mess particularly if I go over areas by accident with the black gel pen, because as you know, you can only get them to a certain point area and no further. See, like that, I just messed up that leaf, so I'm going completely over it. So I guess I don't see the point of keeping the leaf if you go part over it with the black gel pen, because then it just starts looking like a mess and it doesn't work out so well, in my opinion. So, and that's why I'm going over certain areas with the black gel pen, and even like these black leaves, I'm basically blending them into the background because of the fact that I decided to go with this black background so that you could sort of, I guess camouflage a bit because of the tiny areas and where you go over. I guess that's what I'm meaning. And those black leaves won't really work with the black background anyway, and it'll just look odd having the little white lines. So I'm pretty much filling those in just to, I guess, make it look like a proper black background rather than just having these white streaks everywhere where the other leaf stems were. Because I feel that's looking a lot better, filling in areas with the black too. Oops, and I hope my head's not in the way there. I would recommend taking your time with filling in these black details too, because it's very easy to just, I guess, accidentally go over the line just by the fact that you just wobble with the pen and stuff too. So I need to relax a little more whilst doing this, or else I'm going to make a mistake again. Yeah. If you have to, I'd recommend taking a breather just to relax yourself, because I find I'm feeling very nervous doing this one, and I may take a breather once we get to the 30-minute mark, just so that I can, I guess, reorientate my nerves and be a lot more calm about how I'm doing this. It probably sounds weird since I do the sort of the tutorials and tell you all how to do things, but I do tend to get nervous sometimes when doing it. So yeah. But then I guess, as some of you have said, it's good to see you're just human. I'm finding though, just listening to the music in the background is helping to relax my nerves a lot as I do this anyway. And just focus on it, and I'm just telling myself just to enjoy the process and enjoy learning something new. Because this is kind of something new, learning how to colour with such small details and how to edit and adjust the picture, I guess, so that it works for you. Even if that means wiping out some of the images, or wiping out some of the, I guess, not images, but, oops, that's over a leaf. We'll just make that a skinny leaf now. But I guess even if it means just taking out some of the details so that you can more easily do the image, if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. There are still spots where we have got colour over some of the little details, but we'll just work that in with it, kind of thing. But yeah. In those ways it is a good learning experience, because we do learn how to adjust the image to how we want it to be, so that it makes it easier on us colouring the image or having it come out how we want it to. At least that's what I'm thinking at the minute. There is some stem bits there where we'll have to continue up with the green, but we'll do that in a bit. In the meantime, bear with all my mistakes and stuff that I make as I'm doing this. I know this is the butterfly's antenna, but I'm just going to colour over that just because it'll look like just a little floating spot in the air, which won't look, well, in my opinion, won't look quite as good. So I'm sorry about that, everyone. The camera battery died again. So you didn't really miss much. We're still just working with our black Uniball Signo 0.7mm gel pen. We are. And we're basically just filling in all these background areas and turning them black. Whoops, and try not to go over areas like I just did. Breathe. It's something to be enjoyed, and it's a new learning experience. Sorry, I keep telling myself that because it usually helps when I am feeling stressed about a colouring piece that I'm doing. And I can't check with others to see if it's totally messed up or not. So I usually have to tell myself to just breathe and that it's all good. So I don't think it looks totally awful by any means. I don't think it does. So that's looking okay. I am going to just bring down into this, get this other area down here, this lower bottom area also filled in. So this is some of those very tiny fine details with the leaves again. And if you have to, just cut some of the leaves out and stem out. At least that's what I'm realising, it's easier to do than trying to work around a whole heap of odd looking leaves and mistakes because of how fine the details are. Will say again though, as I'm figuring out, if you do go over the lines, don't worry too much. It's not really much you can do with this fine detail I'm learning. Because there are multiple times where I'm doing that and I'm just either, if it still looks okay, like a leaf, I'll leave it, but if it's looking odd, I just fill in over it with the black gel pen. Makes it a lot easier of a fix-up solution than trying to do it the other way. It does. Like this spot, I think I'm just going to completely colour that vine out in that spot. I know it'll make it look very black, but it's just being too awkward to make it work in that spot just because of the fine details, and I'm wobbling all over the place trying to do it. So I feel better to, I guess, get rid of that spot. That spot there, I can't really tell, so I'm just going to do the green all along it. There's a little outer area just here, but I can't really tell, so I'm just going to leave it there. just colour it all as like green leaves, basically. Same for here, which is part of that leaf that was just covered over. Trying not to go all over the place with the wobbling and the vines, which I just did. I almost cut it out of the frame again. So I'll just move this position again. Sorry, just shifting stuff out of the way. No, that wasn't part of the flower. I thought I'd just coloured over part of the flower, but no, I don't think I did. So as you'll notice, we're getting more of our background filled in now. cutting some areas out to make it work, but so that it doesn't look like a total mess. But yeah, I feel that's what I need to do because it is so tiny to make it work. Even if it means simplifying the image a bit, I'm fine with that. Just take your time because of all the details. Even I'm sometimes finding I have to look at it for a minute to make sure I don't go over certain important details of the flowers and all of that, because there are so many little details in this image. So don't feel bad if you have to take your time, because there's nothing wrong with that. Sounds like somebody's doing some woodworking or something in one of the houses on the street. So I can hear like the woodworking saw. I wonder if they're fixing up the abandoned house next door. Because some people bought it, but the house started falling apart, and so it's kind of been abandoned for who knows how long. So maybe they're finally doing some work on it. I guess we don't know. But if it stops being abandoned, that means we'll stop having so many creepy people around, I guess. Yeah, I think this is starting to come out pretty well so far. Can't see too many mistakes in it, so that's cool, even though I've made a hell heap. But then I guess, as I said, I fixed those up with the black gel pen, so it's easy fix rather than having to do it later. I'm just going to pause there quickly because time's almost up for that bit, and we'll finish this section and these two corners in the next part, and then we'll go on to explaining how I started this green colour and continue on that, and yeah, it'll be good. So I will see you again shortly. So hey everyone, I'm back. We're going to still continue with our Uniball Signo black gel pen, 0.7mm. I've been sort of sitting here thinking about it and thinking, oh, I've made too many mistakes, I've done this, I've done that. And I've come back and looked at it, and it actually doesn't look that bad at all, kind of thing. So it's like, what was I fretting about in the end? Same with the other videos, I was fretting about that it was looking awful and it wasn't working and blah blah blah, and now I come back to it and I actually feel that, well, it doesn't look that bad at all. At least not looking at it here, it actually looks pretty decent. So yeah, I was fretting for nothing again, like usual. I was. And I was fretting more because I didn't have anyone I could ask what they thought, so if it looked okay or if it looked completely messed up or what. But there was no need to worry about it now, looking at it. At least not that I can see now, anyway. I think this might be a leaf type of thing down here, but I'm not totally sure. But that's what I'm thinking it is. Or it looks like anyway. I might have needed something in that spot, but the reason I'm sort of, I guess, erasing it from that spot is just because of the fact that I messed it up too much. I am. Now it looks like there's a big black spot in that spot, but yeah. It's what I felt was best to do with that spot. As you've noticed, I've been erasing certain areas all throughout whilst doing this because I want it to look right and not like a total mess, which is what I've been stressing over, that it looks like a total mess. When it doesn't look quite that bad at the minute anyway. I think it's just the fact that the details are really, really small with this one, so it's the fact that I'm fretting I'm messing it up because of the details being so small, I keep going over the lines, and that's why I keep fretting that I'm messing everything up, which isn't exactly the case at all. Maybe I've messed up some things, but I've done my best to fix up what I can. And so that's our black gel pen finished. I'm just going to pause for a minute and then I'll come back with how we've done our green so far and explain it all. Then we can look into doing that, and yeah, I will see you shortly. Hey everyone, we're back. So now that we've done our black background, I actually think it's better that I have cut out some of those details because it makes it a lot more clearer with seeing what we need to colour. Yeah, I really am sorry about all the, I guess, venting, because I was stressing too much about it having to be perfect and having to do it right and have it looking right for everyone. And it's like, well, I was sitting there thinking about it then and thinking, well, I don't exactly have to be perfect with everything I do. I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes like everyone else does. And it's not going to hurt if you guys see me make a mistake, because it's like, it shows you that I do make mistakes and that things don't always necessarily turn out the way we plan or the way we want it to be. So yeah, anyway, pretty much I said I'd explain how I've come in with the green since I messed up those recordings and had to delete them. So pretty much what I've done is just I've come in with the Derwent Studio Mineral Green, and you won't be able to get these colours as dark as Prismacolor or Polychromos, just because I just need to turn the heater off quickly. Sorry, I was getting really hot, so I just need to turn it off. But you're not going to be able to get these as dark as Prismacolor and Polychromos just because of the fact they don't seem to have nearly as deep a colour depth to them, and the fact that if you do try and get that colour depth, you're seriously going to dent the page, because I've done it before and I've pretty much damaged the page and things just haven't worked out with it. Trying to get that deeper colour depth. I still think, even though they say these are artist pencils, I think the fact that they aren't light fast and the fact that that they don't have the depth of the Polychromos or Prismacolor, I think they're more a mid-range artist pencil, not necessarily top artist pencils like the ones you pay hundreds of dollars for. But it doesn't mean that you can't still get good effects from them as they stand. So I still would recommend using them if you can't afford the Prismacolor or Polychromos, because they're still a very good pencil. They're a lot harder than Prismacolor and Polychromos, which I guess also explains why you didn't the page trying to get a really deep colour depth with them. But at the same time, I feel if you can afford something mid-range, I would definitely recommend the Derwent pencils. I still haven't had the chance to review the Pro Colour ones yet. I've been trying to send them a review set to me in the mail, but as of yet they seem to keep going missing in the mail, so I don't know exactly what is happening with them and all of that. So it is kind of strange in that aspect. So I don't know if someone's stealing them from the mail or if they're just not arriving or what is going on. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to review some of those soon, and also test using the watercolours and the ink tints possibly together. We'll work it out. But yeah, so pretty much with the mineral green, what we've done, we've tried to do our darker shade and then go into lighter. But as you'll notice with these pencils, it's very hard to get a lot darker shade than the mid-light area. So it's sort of more, I guess, a mid-green throughout the whole thing. But our darkest colour is our mineral green. So we're just trying to use that for some of these shadows. We also want to bring that into some of these flower stems that I missed earlier. You will want a sharp lead pencil for this because as you've noticed, the details are so fine and small in this book. Well, on this image anyway. It's not quite so small in the other images, but it's still smaller than, say, her Floribunda book, which I don't have. I've been interested in it, but what stopped me from getting it is the fact that it only has 20 images in it. I bought Minute Klein's recently, but I don't always buy images with books that don't have many images because I feel it's kind of a bit of a waste of money. So I guess we'll see if I get it in the future or not, but yeah. So just with these it's just the flower stem ones that you want to add the green into as well. We're not going all the way to the edge of the flower stem just because of the fact that we do still want to add some of our other greens in there if we can. I had 3 different green colours that I was intending on adding into these areas, but I kind of now don't know that that will be possible because the details are so small. As usual, I pick way too many colours for what we can do. And we're pretty much going through, because the shadows will be here, we're going to put our mineral green in these spots, remembering to go back over with your sort of a lighter colour shade onto it to allow for better blending. Now it sounds like the neighbours are mowing. That you may not get as many colour tones in it as you are interested in, and I just discovered that's a all black area. So just fix up any of those areas as you come across it pretty much. That's another all black area there. See, that's what I mean by it's confusing with this book because there's so many different layers. There is so many little details, more like. Yeah, we're pretty much just making sure we still bring our light colour tones into those, rubbing off any ink you get on it from before continuing with the pencil. And I think some of these stripy leaves, I think I'm going to leave them different, although I've noticed she's actually mixed it up. Some of the leaves that don't actually have the stripes, she's going to put the leaves on the underneath bit, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah. I'm just going to fix up a couple of... That might be a stripy leaf, I don't know, but it's not now. It's not. So, with these flower ones, you're probably not going to be able to get as much. We're trying to do just with the sharp point on the one edge, but we're probably not necessarily going to be able to totally manage that just because of the amount of space. Trying not to go over other areas like I just did. And then we want to pretty much just bring it down into these flower stem areas as well. Just trying to ignore the areas where you've made mistakes and basically done black or something over it. And then doing in our lighter tones or lighter pencil colour of that same colour. We want to bring this one up here. So that one, because I think it could have been a stripy leaf, but I'm not totally sure because it looks like it's ended kind of thing. So what I might actually do is I'm just gonna change that to the black. And I'm going to colour over that leaf and just have the one colour there. So I am wiping out more details, but I'm just trying to work it in to make it easier for all of us to colour, kind of thing. Let's just go over this little bit with the black too, there. So as you'll notice, I'm having quite a hard time because of the small detail doing multiple colours, but I'm still going to overlap them anyway, just trying to achieve that. Yeah, see here? She's brought another, it's stripy all the way down like that and then goes to clear. So I am not sure what she's doing with that. It's kind of weird that she does part of it clear and then adds the stripes in. Whether she forgot to add in the stripes for the majority of them, I do not know. But yeah, it's just something I've noticed that looks a little sort of funny, shall we say, because it's like, well, is it the different type of leaf or is it the same type of leaf? And I'm starting to think I may end up just doing it the same type of leaf, just because of the fact it's kind of confusing when she keeps swapping to a striped leaf from the beginning, what is it? From the beginning work brain. From the beginning blank leaf, pretty much. So I think I might just end up making all those leaves the same. I might, just because that way it'll be easier in that aspect of the fact that, well, I'm not sure how to explain it. My brain's not functioning properly today. I wish it was. Pretty much I'm just going to do it the same, just because that way it'll just work out looking more even in the long run, I guess you could say. Sorry for my brain. This is how it's been the past few days and why I haven't gotten much uploaded and stuff, because it's like my brain just isn't functioning and I'm just making mistakes and it's not working out how I want it to with things, and it's not great, shall we say, because I'm not necessarily happy that I just keep screwing things up with the videos and stuff. I'm not. So, yeah. Please forgive me for that. I think that's why I was so tense too, because all I've been doing is screwing things up lately with the videos whenever I do them, which isn't the funnest. Still trying to incorporate in our light zones, and we're still using our mineral green here. finishing off some of these little grassy bits. So a lot of the leaves in this are pretty much going to be just the same colour. But well, a lot of the leaves are these sort of stripy / clear ones, which I'm now wondering if maybe she forgot to put the stripes in all of them or something, or maybe they were meant to be slightly different ones, but she seems to have connected them, so I'm guessing they're meant to be the same ones, but they just don't have the stripe bits in them. That's what I'm assuming anyway, so, and how I'm working it now, so. So that looks like all of our mineral green there. Then what we're going to do, we're actually going to come in with an emerald green for the Derwent Studio, and as you know, we're going to bring that over all the colours. This one isn't sharpened very well because I'm guessing the lead's going to break when I try to sharpen it to a point. Because for some reason this pencil, and some of these pencils too, I do notice faults with them as well, so. We're just going to come in with our emerald green over all these colours, for all our previous colours. I wasn't able to get a proper sharp point with the emerald green just because of the way, as you'll notice, well, I don't know if you can see that, but with this lead, it's actually sticking up out of the pencil lead because the pencil lead's sharpened way down compared to the actual lead area where it's sharpening. So I'm predicting this one like an old magenta one, which I now can't use because it's got all these splits going down the wood. So, as I guess every set can get faulty pencils in it when you're doing it. Just all depends. But yeah, I seem to do have some faulty pencil things in there, and I'm wondering if this one's going to go the same, but I'm hoping not. Hoping not, but we'll have to wait and see as to if it does or not. And I just had the pencil break a bit somewhere there, the wood. And here's a bit we've missed with our mineral green. So we just need to bring that down in there, in our lighter area. Just just need to check if I'm... No, fortunately it's not putting too much pressure on the tooth of the paper and bending the whole book thing out at the minute, fortunately. Whilst you may get some of the green on the black, it's not going to show quite so much having the black background. That's why I decided on the black background for it, so I could kind of camouflage the areas where I go over the lines because the detail areas are so small. So it's always a solution as to being able to, I guess, cover up any lines etc. in extremely small spaces by I guess not just adjusting the image, but by colouring the background black so that it fills in any detail areas and sort of covers up where you do go over the lines a bit. Even though you may see it a little bit on the black yourself, it's not going to be so noticeable for others who look at what you've done. If that makes sense. I hope it does. I hope it makes sense. So we're still just using our emerald green. Still are going over some of the other colours, over some of the lines slightly into detailed areas where we don't necessarily want them, but I think I've said it many times, and I'll say it just one last time, that there's not really much we can do about that. I've realised being such small details and such small areas to actually work with and colour in. Really, I probably should have chosen something simple and not so small like everyone else did when doing the colour along from this book. And sorry for that. It's just a friend messaging good morning when it's actually afternoon, but yeah, that's what they do. And I'm just going to pause for a minute because we're getting close to the end of the time, and then we'll continue with the rest of this shortly. So I'll be back shortly. So we're back. So I could go longer, but I've decided I'm only going to go for the next 13 minutes. It'll take us to about the hour of 40 minutes. Like usual, I know sometimes I go longer to 3 hours depending, but that sort of depends on what I'm doing with the image. So I think I'm only going to go to the hour and 40 minutes again just to finish this. We're still working with our emerald green, and I'm just hoping that we can finish basically colouring in these little spots. I think I'm just going to bring in the mineral green on this little stem here, just because of the fact that we've brought the other colours over the top of it, so we might as well just blend it in and make it work. And so I'm just aiming to finish this bit with the emerald green, and then I think I'll leave it there because we've finished the background, I guess, and They're my green, and sorry for that. My phone likes to send a re-reminder. If I don't look at the message within 2 minutes, it sends a re-reminder to me, and it's like, go away, kind of thing. And there's another spot I've missed with a leaf. So yeah. So hopefully it won't beep again unless a friend all of a sudden decides to send another message on top, which he sometimes does. I don't mind it, but I won't answer whilst I'm recording. So I hope this is helping you out anyway with using Derwent Studio pencils. And it's kind of teaching me some new stuff about working with really, really teeny details, because I've never worked with details this tiny before. I always like the advanced details with small stuff and that in it, but I've never worked this small before. So I guess it's a bit of a new learning experience for me, and realising that you can't always stay in the lines like I'd like to do and all of that stuff. At least the black kind of camouflages our mistakes with the really, really tiny lines where we can, but the areas where it goes over into other images or parts of the image, well, we're just going to have to colour over that and pretend it doesn't exist, I guess. As much as I hate it, there's nothing I can do about it. Another thing I'm noticing, I don't think the Derwent Studio blends quite as well as Polychromos or Prismacolor either. But it still does a decent job for what you want it for in the meantime, whilst you might be saving up for some Polychromos or Prismacolor. So it's not like it can't do a decent job. I think I said this earlier in the video, but it's pretty much comes down to the person using the pencils, not the pencils controlling the person and how the quality comes out. So if you believe you can still get good quality even with the cheap pencils, but then you can just improve and be even better once you get the expensive pencils, if that makes sense. So that's our green done. I think what I'm going to do is pretty much leave it at that for now, and when we next come back to the next part, because I'm going to rotate onto another book that I've been working on a part on now, so that I keep rotating them. And yeah, next part we'll probably look at doing some of these flowers, maybe some of the other leaves. We'll work it out. I've got an idea for these orchid sort of tiger lily sort of things. I think they are tiger lily orchid kind of things for colours. So yeah, we'll probably look at doing that next time. Maybe some leaves, see how we go. We may get it finished next time. I don't think we quite will, just because of the amount of fine details, but I guess we'll see, because it took quite a while with just doing the black background, but that's because of all the fine details as well. But yeah, I hope this helps you out and you enjoyed it, and if you do, please like, subscribe or comment, and I will see you next time. Bye.